Hello, wobbly camera here and a very short live. It's your girl here, 𝗙𝗶ৃ𝗱, visibility specialist, also known as the Queen of Being Seen internationally. And today I wanted to ponder a question, like leave a question with you. And the question is this, like, who are you? Who are you really? Now, yesterday I spent some lovely time with a dear friend walking in nature. And there was this point where my friend showed me around the area and she was like, what do you prefer? Woods, open spaces, what kind of thing do you prefer? And if for people that don't know me well, they won't know that I'm a real nature girl. I like earth, wind, green spaces. I love woods. I love trees. I love parks. I love flowers. I love open spaces. I love secret crevices. I love being by the water. So it's a really hard thing for me to choose which way. So we walked in the woods. It rained, the sun shone. It was so gorgeous. It really was soup for the soul. And part of me sharing this is comes from when many people speak to me about being more visible, whether it's their own business or somebody else's business. They worry about what's deemed professional to share and what's deemed too much to share. Now, in my books, I think as long as you're not sharing something that's overly controversial or overly explicit, actually everything is okay to share. But the real question that we all should be asking ourselves is like, who am I? Because when we delve deep into the different elements of who we are, it makes it far more easier to show up and share online. It makes it easier for us to share the things that are deemed personal but not private. It's easier for us to share our quirks as well as our zones of genius and our zones of excellence. It's easier for us to talk about the thing we do. And actually, it's easier for you to marry that together with your work. So yesterday, if you haven't seen it already, I shared a video here, and underneath I put a quote. So I shared the video on um, LinkedIn, YouTube, and my Facebook page, which is also called 𝗙𝗶ৃ𝗱, the Queen of Being Seen. Um, and sorry, my strap keeps annoying me on my arm there. And I was able to basically take a set of words, random words, and weave that into my work as a visibility specialist. But more importantly, I was able to weave those words into how it shows up for you, because I could talk about visibility all day long, but it's not about me, it's about you. For some of you, there are struggles and challenges. For others, there are aspirations and goals. And for others, there are maybe worries or concerns. And for some of you, it's a little bit of everything. So I check out that video if you haven't seen it. If you want to have a look at on YouTube, it's probably the quickest way. Just search at, like the @ sign, 𝗙𝗶ৃ𝗱, my name there, and you will find my channel. Click on videos and you'll see probably this video first, and then just go back to the one the day before. But this is a journey of 365 consecutive days of either live streams or videos, preferably live streams, but on those days where I can't do anything around 10 o'clock a.m., 2 o'clock p.m. or 10 o'clock p.m., I will pre-record a video. I'll let you know if it's pre-recorded, and I will share it with you. So in a quest to answer this question, who are you? It's one that I dive really deeply into the 5 pillars of visibility that I share. So visibility vibes, and the 4th pillar is begins with E for energy, and it's about the vibe that you have and also about the person you are, so that you're not overperforming if you're kind of stoic, you're not trying to be a comedian if that's not your style, you're not feeling like you have to be disruptive if that's not your personality or your nature. And the reason why I don't kind of throw out these bits and pieces out all over the internet for free is because if they're not used well, or if they're not in safe hands, they can actually make a person feel worse about themselves. So I like to guide people through the different processes that are underneath that pillar. But here's a starter for you. So some of you are employed professionals, but actually this first book and resource that I'm going to recommend is actually great regardless. And I actually believe, even though a few times over the years when I've shared this particular resource, people have said, oh, that's all well and good for corporates, but it's not good for business owners. And I completely disagree. You know, at the very start of my business journey, every single client got this book. And the main reason they got this book, Strengths Finder by Tom Rath, the main reason that they got this book was because of the, not to read it, but because of the profile tool that's in there. So if you want to find out your top 5 strengths and play to your strengths on a regular basis, whether you're entrepreneurial, whether you're an exec, whether you are working for somebody else's business or your own, whether you're a speaker or an author or a consultant or a coach, buy this book. I would always recommend you buy it from new because there's a sealed piece in the back. You get a little scratch off code and you take the test, the profile, which won't take you more than 15 minutes. And then it spits out your top 5 strengths, which I always have written down on the front here. You can have a guess if you've already done the profile as to what my top 5 strengths are. But the premise of this book is we're not trying to look to work on our weaknesses, we are building on our strengths, which is something that really aligns with the who are you question. The other book, which a lot of entrepreneurs love, I think I'm connected to cie HOGS on here. This book is amazing. Oops. I feel like I'm peeping behind it. This book, How the World Sees You. It's an amazing book. And again, it's got a code in there. You scratch it off, you take the code. Now on hers, let's see if I can find the page because I didn't plan to show you this. She has a whole, and you can see how much I've used it over the years, all the with myself and when I've identified this in other people. There it is. She has a whole heap of archetypes. There you go. You're not going to be able to read it from here. So again, don't be cut off by the fact it's such a thick book, but you do the quiz and you have a whole heap of archetypes. And what's important, I think, about Sally's work in this, and very underestimated, is it's all well and good us getting an insight to how we see ourselves. And I think that's important. But this is how the world sees me. So, for example, my 2 top archetypes, I think my primary one is innovation. And no, it isn't. My primary one is passion, and my second advantage is innovation, which means that I'm a catalyst. I am very outside the box, energizing. These are the words that are described here on the profile. Social. And I would say anyone that watches this, whether it's live on the replay, knows me. That's pretty true. People often, it doesn't matter whether I'm going in to speak to a group of scientists, whether I'm going in to speak to people that work in the public sector, whether I'm speaking at a company, people always feel energized. There is something that I bring out in them that brings out the energy for them so that they can go out and be more visible in the world in a way that feels good to them and comfortable to them. And without books like these, it's actually hard to pinpoint, like, what do you do? Think about it. Think of something you're really great at. Can be business related, but doesn't have to be. And then if I was to ask you, why are you so good at doing that? You probably wouldn't know the answer. You would probably say, I just am, or I trained in it, or I'm just interested in it. And this book really helps you to unlock that. It also then talks about what your opposite advantages are, almost like your disadvantages. So, for example, I stand for truth, and if I'm in my passion place, I'm able to energize people with that. But if I'm sharing the message of it's your truth, it's your truth, it's your truth, people don't resonate with that. So, How the World Sees You, cie HOGS. Tagline: discover your highest value through the science of fascination. How to have people be fascinated with you, but you first. See what is fascinating about you. Really highly recommend it. So next time somebody says, who are you? Who are you really? I can say, line up 10 solicitors in front of me, ask me to help them be visible, and I will see the nuances of each individual person, because one of my top strengths is individualization. To you, that means my inability to tar lots of people with the same brush. Just as well, really, because as a visibility specialist, I see the gold in you, I see the genius in you, and often I see it before the person themselves realizes it or recognizes it, which means that I can pull that out of you and give it back to you. So, this is the other reason why, apart from the fact that this is my birthday month, this is the other reason why I've offered these like one-off sessions, which I don't work with people in a one-off basis usually, but just for June. If you, between now and the 30th of June, have a look at one of my previous posts or send me a message if you want the link. If you, before the end of June, see one of these June specials, it's an opportunity to work not with anyone on the team, but with me for a space of time where you'll be, I think it's 45 minutes to an hour, I allow a buffer. You'll be able to speak to me about your most kind of pressing visibility concerns, your aspirations, your goals, your plans. We'll meet on Zoom. I will record it for you, and you will get a copy of that so you can listen back to it forever and a day. And it is, I think, 40% off my what would be my hourly rate if I was to kind of charge hourly. I tend to charge in packages these days, but it's a chance for you to get some gold and to see how to plan your own visibility journey and what to do next. So if that's something of interest to you, then either send me a message on the platform that you're watching, or have a look at one of my previous posts. I can send you the link. All you need to do is find time in your diary. If you can't actually book the space in your diary before the end of June, that's okay, but you have a payment link in there, so you find the space, you make your payment, and then you can kind of book your appointment for then. I can't wait to see more of you, and thank you for those of you who have already jumped on that and booked now. It's so funny because some people have booked it a couple of weeks away, and I'm already excited for them and what could happen. But the other truthful thing to say is I've only got a limited amount of these spaces, so some of them have gone already. Some of them have gone already, and I will. I'm doing a live stream. Some of them have gone already, and there's only a limited amount of spaces left. So once they've gone, they've gone. And maybe I'll do this again next year in June on my birthday month. I don't know, wait and see. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining, and thanks to the man for the real life interaction. And I will see you later. Bye for now.